guys, life has been hectic, and there's somebody mowing the lawn outside because I'm pretty sure they mow every single day. Every single day there's some kind of yard work going on that's loud. So sorry. So let's just get right to the point. I got to walk at graduation. I'm not finished with my degree. I got to celebrate a milestone essentially because I'm on track to finish this year. So at my school, if you graduate in 2026, if your degree will finish in 2026, you can walk in 2026. They have one commencement ceremony for all of the 2026 graduating classes, and it's in the spring. So if you graduate in the summer or fall, I think you have the option to walk the next year, or you can, if you're on track, you can walk this year. So I emailed so many people because regardless of when you're graduating, the school sends out information on graduation every year. So my very first semester, like, hey, if you're graduating this year, here's the information you need. And I kind of ignored it. And then all of a sudden this year, it's like, is this pertinent to me? Do I need to know about this? So I got a hold of my academic or program advisor. I had an advising appointment with my advisor back in March, early March. Commencement is in May. So during this, she said, oh, have you gotten the emails about graduation? And I was like, yeah, but I don't finish. Initially, I thought it was considered fall because it ends in August, but that's considered your last semester of work is considered the semester you graduate. So I finished my master's degree summer of 26. So she said, yeah, that applies to you. Go ahead and put in for graduation. You have to apply, like, make sure you do all of that. So again, now mid-March, we have an email with the instructions for registration and graduation if it applies to us. And again, I confirmed, does this apply to me? I will not be done before commencement. And she said, yes, that applies to you. And then just to be safe, I went ahead and emailed the registrar and I said, hey, this is the month that I will finish up my master's classes. I initially applied for fall graduation. It sounds like I need to apply for summer graduation. Can you confirm that you got this application? Does it need to be changed? When is commencement? When do we need to order things? And she said, hey, we've got you listed as a summer 2026 graduate. You can click on this website for information on caps and gowns. So that sounded like a confirmation to me. They had it ready to go for me. So that was really exciting. And I got to do some special things with that. They sent out an email that if we'll be walking at commencement, we can come in and make a video thanking like our support system or the faculty or anybody that made an impact while we went through this degree. So I thought, you know what? I didn't walk for my associate degree, which I did get separately. I started out with my associate and then I worked through my BSN. I didn't walk for my BSN. I'm like, I'm a nurse. That is the goal. I've hit my goal. I'm working. It didn't seem important. But now that I've been doing this for like 13 years, there is something about having these moments that is not only good for me to celebrate with my family and all the hard work and hours like that I put into it, but there's also something about networking. There's a picture for that LinkedIn profile. This is the new milestone I hit. Check out what I'm doing. I'm continuing on this journey. I'm making changes. I'm making waves. Check me out. It's a little celebration of me. And I didn't see how important that was initially early on in my career. But as you go, you want to put your name out there. You want to celebrate the milestones and show the impact that you're having either on the field or just in general. So I decided that if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do all of it. And I went ahead and I went in and I made a video thanking my support system. It was very cheesy. They have a cap and gown there for you because they record it early so they can stitch everything together, and they play it at the beginning of commencement when you guys are lining up or preparing or getting your cap and gown on, doing all these things, and your family is in the auditorium. It plays during that time. So I did that. My family said it was very sweet. It was kind of cool to see me on the screen while celebrating such like a big deal, a big milestone. So I was glad I did that. And then commencement itself, it was cool because, all right, I had to restart because my husband pulled in, the dogs were barking, it was chaos. So I am the first in my family to go on to get a graduate degree. I'm the first in my immediate family to get a college degree. So I had no idea how any of this worked. I did not realize that I could walk before my degree was conferred, meaning I'm done with everything, graduated, passed the classes, complete conferral. So if you're in a graduate program, take a close look at what they offer, because my school only offers one commencement ceremony a year. So this was the 2026 commencement ceremony. Come on. I don't know the last update you have, but I have a baby goat in my house. Yeah, I hear you. And she thinks she runs the place. So anyhow, I have this buddy that I've worked with essentially since my first hospital job. So over 10 years ago. And he was in graduate school also at this school. He was getting an education degree. So his master's in nursing education. I don't know when he actually finished up, if he's still taking summer classes or if he did actually finish up in the spring, but he was at the commencement ceremony. So that was super cool. And one of the girls that I will be going on to complete my doctorate degree with, she's in an FNP program, but she's going to get her DNP degree. She was there too, which made me feel good because there was nobody else there from the PMHNP program. Granted, there are only 3 of us who are local. There are 3 from Texas. This will be another video because I just met everybody. 3 from Texas, 1 from Maryland, 1 from Colorado, and 3 from Ohio. But none of them came, and I don't blame the ones that are out of state because they had to come here for intensives, which were also in May. So beginning of May, commencement. Quit stepping on things. Beginning of May, commencement. Middle of May, in-person intensives, mandatory. So coming to Ohio from Texas and Colorado and everywhere, quite a commitment. And some of them have kids. However, when I talked to them, they kind of didn't realize it was an option. I'm not sure how, if I was just the squeaky wheel that kept emailing and saying, hey, is this me? Am I the one that fits these requirements? Is this my time for commencement? I don't know if that's the case or what, but it sounds like they didn't realize this was a thing. At least I knew the one guy that I had worked with that was getting his master's in education, and then I knew the FNP who was going on to get her doctorate on the same timeline that I am. So we'll be doing a lot of classes together. But it was nice getting to celebrate with everybody, and there were unlimited tickets. So it wasn't ticketed, unlimited seating. They recommended about 5 people. But they had backup seating if they needed it. So essentially invite who you want to invite. And there were more people than I expected who wanted to come. So my parents came to support me. My husband, obviously, his mother, my mother-in-law, my sister. I didn't expect her to want to come because I'm going on. There will be another time to celebrate. But she's like, no, absolutely. This is a milestone. I'm coming. Her son, who is graduating high school this year, who is like my own child, he came. And then her littlest daughter, there's a big age gap. She's 1 year old. She came and behaved herself and did really well. And then my best friend came. She wanted to come celebrate as well. The unfortunate thing is that it was 8 o'clock in the morning. Like, family had to get there at 8 o'clock in the morning. I had to get there before 7 o'clock in the morning. What a terrible time to celebrate. Plus, it was long as heck. I think I was there till nearly noon because I had to do a drug test at like 12:15, and I was unable to make it to that drug test because the ceremony went on and on and on. And by the time I finally got to see everybody, I'm like, I'm just gonna have to reschedule it. I cannot make this time. It was unfortunately a very cold spring day in Ohio. It was like 40 degrees out, and I put way too much thought into the dress I wore underneath my gown, and my gown never came off because I was perfectly comfortable in it. It was crowded as heck inside because, like I said, it's the only commencement ceremony for 2026. So we had our doctorate students, our master's students, PMHNP, FNP, Masters of Education. I think it was health sciences. So I think there was PTOT graduates there. So it was, that in itself made it long and crowded, but there were also a lot of speakers. The president of the college is awesome. He was very friendly, personable, high energy. He's an older gentleman. Very fun to meet him. He welcomed everybody, and it was very nice. Some of the speakers almost seemed like they had an agenda, like maybe even a political agenda. So it's like, come on, we could shorten this up and get rid of this portion. I'm sure there's something to it, but like they handed out honorary doctorates to some people, like political figures. It is what it is. I'm sure there's something to that I don't know enough about. So that was part of it. But it was nice. It was fun. It was fun getting to walk and put all the stuff on. And then I had just been inducted into the Nursing Honor Society, the Sigma Honor Society. So I got to wear my stole and my ropes, and it felt like a really special moment. So spring semester finished up like the very end of April, and I did my clinical time until the very end of April, and we had a weekend, and the weekend was commencement. And then the very next week, summer semester started, and I had already talked with my preceptor for summer semester, so I started on Tuesday. So I worked through the end of April, classes, clinicals, working, everything. Took this weekend off to walk at commencement and prepare for the summer semester. And in summer semester, jumped right into classes, discussion posts, clinicals at this new site. There was no downtime. There was no break. A weekend does not count as a break, especially when you've got commitments throughout the weekend. And that's kind of where we're at now. We are now nearly a month into the summer semester. I had planned to make this video way before now, but it has been so busy. And in the next video, I will tell you about that. But it has been so busy that I have not had a chance to do anything but schoolwork and sleep. I haven't even picked up any hours at work. I picked up one weekend last weekend because in my head I thought, oh yeah, now that I don't have to fit 4 days of clinicals in a week, I should have those 2 extra days I was spending at clinicals to do actual work. Well, it turns out the amount of work in the summer semester is probably the most of the whole program, I think. So that was a stressful 2 shifts in the ICU because I was just like, oh, I have stuff to do after these shifts. It is not rest, rinse, repeat. It is just keep working. Just keep working until you cry a little bit. And I did cry a little bit, but that's a story for another day. I think I'm just going to take this moment to reflect on the fact that I got to celebrate part of this large milestone that I'm working on. It was great seeing everybody celebrating, taking a minute to just stop for a second and reflect on how far I've come so far, what these last 2 years are actually leading up to, and the fact that I'm getting through it. As hard as it is, we are getting to this point where the end is in sight, and that is such a good feeling. So it was certainly not the celebration of the end of my journey, but just a moment of celebration, a little checkpoint before I continue on, and it was nice. So if you're in a graduate program or wherever you're at in your education, make sure to celebrate those milestones. It's nice to have the pictures, it's nice to have the memories, and it's nice to take a minute, pat yourself on the back, and keep going. So congratulations to all the 2026 graduates, and good luck with everything else you decide to do. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye.